All right, it's about 5:40 in the morning, September 14th. Me and my dad are about to get going out to Lone Peak in Utah. It's along the Wasatch Front. So here it's a pretty good hike. Luckily, we're only about half an hour away, so yeah, I'll see you there when we get to the trailhead. All right, so we just got to the trailhead. It's about 6:25, and yeah, we're gonna start in a few minutes. I would say it's probably like low 50s right now, light breeze, but yeah, feels pretty good. So I know this trailhead is about 5,800 or so feet. I don't know exactly what it is, but yeah, Lone Peak is about 11,251 feet, if I'm not mistaken, at the top. So got a little bit to climb, but it'll be fun. All right, we're officially hiking now. So we started at the Peak View Trail. I think it's more so of just a city trail for now. I know the first like 5 miles are gradual from where we started at. Per my watch, it was like 5,900 all the way up past, I think just a little bit 9,000 feet by mile 5. And then from there we'll get to the cirque. So should be pretty easy going. And yeah, here's the trail at the moment. So pretty wide. Looks pretty well traversed, taken care of. So, all right, just past 2 miles. Yeah, a little before around 2 miles, the tree cover started to end. So, a little bit more exposure to the sun. I mean, not right now because the sun is still coming up, but if you're hiking this later in the day. So, great views though. Utah Valley right there, and a little bit of the Salt Lake Valley right there. So, pretty neat. Right, so currently at mile 4, and here's the trail up to this point. Sun's coming out quite well. Got the Utah Valley right there and Salt Lake Valley just over there. Yeah, pretty nice so far. These past 2 miles have definitely been a bit steeper than the first 2, but not that bad. And the trail itself has remained pretty smooth. There are a few rockier sections, but not like any scrambling or anything. Just something where you just gotta keep your eyes peeled on the ground a bit more. So yeah, I know somewhere around mile 5 is where people say the real hiking begins, but right now we're just going up some switchbacks for the most part. So yeah, so just over 5.5 miles in and done with the switchbacks. It looks like we're about to be at the cirque. So I'm actually coming down the Ennis Peak Trail after getting up to Jacob's Ladder Trail from Peak View, which is where we were on the first 5.5. I figured, Ennis Peak is right there. I think it's like 9,300 some feet at the top, but yeah, pretty cool. It looks like there's a nice little stop right there. With where all those trees are, you can stop, recuperate, eat a snack if you want. So yeah, pretty cool. So just got down below Ennis Peak to this sort of like rest area. So yeah, as you can see, pretty wide open space right here. There's a few like stumps and rocks where you can take a seat and all that. So yeah, pretty cool. But yeah, just for some perspective, so that there is the Utah Valley. Sort of see where the airport is over there. You got like Temp and all those mountains over there. And then way off in the distance, that peak that's sort of, peak that's sort of jutting all the way up. That's Mount Nebo. Then going across here, it's the northern end of the Utah Lake. Keep going. Down there, I think that's where we started, technically Draper. And then over there, that's the Ochre Range. Pretty prominent. I know Deseret Peak is, I think that's Deseret Peak over there. And then you got the Bingham Canyon Mine. And now this is the whole Salt Lake Valley, with the Great Salt Lake just over there. So yeah, if you get to the top of Ennis Peak, I should have probably videoed when I was up there. You could see, or you can see, downtown Salt Lake, like all the, what you could say are skyscrapers, although they're not all too big. But yeah, now I better get going up to the main attraction, which is Lone Peak. So just past 6 miles, and we're on the official Lone Peak trail now. I think that's it right there, actually. So you actually have people camping in this little meadow, so that's pretty neat. Yeah, at least for the time being, trail is still pretty nice, so that's always something to be happy about. Getting pretty close to the top. I say it's a little rocky now. That's a go through this little set of rocks here. So it seems as though we are on the final ridge line up to Lone Peak, right there. Been pretty close. All right, so past the summit of Lone Peak, it's actually right there. Didn't get any videos at the top, but we're still like probably 10 feet from the top. Looking right here, we're on the east side of it, so you got these mountains by like Little Cottonwood Canyon right here. Got another little peak. I don't know what that is, but you can see Utah Valley, and then yeah, just the whole valley, and then looking down into the meadow, and then I don't know if y'all can see that, but sort of see downtown Salt Lake area that a ways. But yeah, it's time to get going back down. So actually, you can see downtown better now. Got around a little bend, and yeah, Great Salt Lake right there, and yeah, whole Salt Lake Valley. Sweet. And I don't know if y'all can see it, but way over there is it's not focusing. It's like Layton, Ogden area. So yeah. Making our way down, still on the Cirque section. I do have to say that once you're close to the top, I mean, I guess both coming up and down, there's not really a clearly defined trail. So I mean, there is a few spots, but mostly not. So my best advice would be just find the best rock. Making our way down the mountain. Well, we're almost back to the car now, and here's the Peak View Trail coming down. So yeah, as you can see, it's a pretty smooth trail, but definitely quite a bit of a different atmosphere from what we were doing near the top of Lone Peak and above Ennis Peak. But definitely feels like that climb up was worth it for this. So we just got back to the park. Beautiful day out. Couldn't have asked for much better. But round trip was about 16.7 miles. Our elevation gain was about 6,000 feet. Yeah, face is a little dirty. Stepped on a root and took a little tumble on the way down, but it was fine. So, firing off on all cylinders still. But yeah, great weekend hike. Way to end this week. So, looking forward to the adventure I've planned next week.